I think my number one tip for staying in shape is always thinking about how much protein you're getting on the daily. That's number one. You should know, if you've been tracking your macros for a long time in your food, how much protein roughly is in different foods. But if you don't know, MyFitnessPal is going to be your best bet, or simply you can just get a coach to do it for you and you can upload the pictures for him, similar to what my clients do for me, and I'll just track everything for you. And following on from that, this can be like a combined tip. Make sure you do some level of workout every day, whether that's going for a walk, whether that is doing like a 20-minute circuit workout to target your full body. That's going to keep you in shape even when you're traveling. Being in shape as a career-driven man, it is the most important thing you can do in your life. If you want to see the ultimate success in your business or your career, and you're career-driven to the point where you want everything to be as good as it can be, right? You want to get to the top. Why are you not improving your vehicle that you're using to get to the top in the best way you can? You can't get there if no one is going to take you as seriously as they would if you were in shape, if you're not in shape, if that makes sense. If you approach someone and you're overweight, but you have a really good idea, yeah, okay, they could listen to you. But imagine you come to them and you're in the best shape you've ever been in, and you're confident, and it reflects with your persona, your personality, the way you hold yourself. Your idea is gonna really hit home a lot more. Your career is really gonna elevate to that next level. And overall, it's a no-brainer. You need to be in shape if you want to see success in the highest realm. An online fitness coach is, this is actually this is a very good question. I feel like you've asked this because you know about my personal journey. But as you probably know, I started off doing in-person PTing and I changed to online coaching because it is just better. Not only can you track absolutely every metric from all your clients compared to if you were doing PTing, but you have more time for people. You can give more time because not only are you able to set workouts for people that are customized that they can do whilst you're not even there, but also the nutrition is done for them as well. So all they need to do is follow the plan. And every single day, you can check on your clients because I can check their activity, right? I can see when they've been on the app. I can see when they've done the workouts. I can see when they've uploaded their nutrition. I can also kind of guess when they've woken up and when they've done certain things, especially if they have an Oura ring as well, they can send me their data. And so these type of things don't get checked when you're doing PT stuff. With PTing and in-person training, you spend like an hour with that one person, maybe 2 or 3 hours a week if they have a couple sessions, right? That's it. You know, there's no checking up on people. There's no nutrition, right? Maybe there is in some programs, but for the most part, there's no nutrition checking, which is a big part in your journey. There's no recovery checking. There's no supplementation. There's no, routines built for you in terms of your morning and evening routine. And the workouts don't usually fit around your schedule unless you make them. The thing that I can offer with the online coaching that's completely different and way better than in-person coaching is the fact that I build your fitness and health routine around you and your current schedule. And we work together to fit it in to have the most optimal plan for you, right? It's not like you come and see me and we do it and you work around my schedule and, I'll give you the times that I'm free. No, you give me the times you're free. I will work and we will work, me and my team, around you. That's the difference. But come on, is that even a question? Health is the most important thing ever. Like, if you don't have your health in check, how are you going to be able to give, your best self to other people? Because you're not going to have the energy to do that. You're not going to have the right mind frame to be able to, give your best self to anyone. Your work's gonna suffer, your body's gonna suffer as well, because you could end up with injuries, you could end up with illnesses, diseases in the worst case scenario, which you wanna avoid, obviously. So health is the most important thing you can ever invest your time into. It's the foundation of your whole life, right? If you're not healthy, how can you put effort into other things that you're currently doing? And it's crazy to me because a lot of people that I talk to will say to me, well, I have this house to save up for, or I have this car that I need to pay off, or, I'm saving this money because I'm going on a trip. And I'm thinking in my head, do you want to be able to live in that house for a long time? Do you want to drive that car for a long time and really experience it in your best body in your vehicle rather than a different vehicle that's not your body? You know, do you want to have a good time with your family and friends for as long as you can, have so many vacations and holidays? Of course you do. So why are you not prioritizing the thing that is going to help you to do that? It doesn't make any sense. There's no logic in it. You know, that's why health is the most important thing, because if you want to do the things that you are now, you know, save up, work, earn more money over time through improving in the job ladder, or, you know, taking your business to that next level, your health needs to be a priority. It's as simple as that. You're doing a complete disservice to yourself, and not only yourself, but your family and your friends and people who care about you. You know, you need to take care of yourself, because then you can give your best self to others and you can show them what having a healthy body really does in the most positive way. And then they can repeat that, they can learn from you, and they can do the same. I would say there's a lot of foods you could pick from, but my personal recommendations would be, number one, nuts. Any type of nuts. I know some people have a nut allergy, so this wouldn't apply to you, but if you don't have a nut allergy, include nuts into your diet. It's good for your heart health. It's got calories in it, a lot of calories. You know, you can easily, if you're trying to bulk up and get bigger and build more muscle, just include more nuts in your diet and you'll see the changes. It's a good source of fat, and it has protein in as well, so it's going to help recover your body. It's a no-brainer. And if you're struggling to eat more, they're not going to fill you up too much. Nuts are one of the best, in my opinion. I would also say bananas is a cheat code, just because of the fact that you can have 2 bananas and it can fuel you for an intense 30 to 60 minute workout. So if you have a few bananas before you work out, has a little bit of carbs in there and enough energy for you to be able to do the workout, even if you might not feel like you have the energy that day. So another cheat code there. And of course, we know banana also has protein in too. And I think I have 2 last ones, which if you don't like nuts, then hopefully you can have one of these, and there should be 3 here for everyone. So the last 2 are gonna be salmon, high protein, you know, it's lean meat as well, so you're not gonna put on a lot of fat. It's very healthy for you. You know, salmon's one of the best meats you can have, and it's low in calories too, so if you want high protein, low calories, salmon's gonna be your best friend. And the very last one's gonna be blueberries for me. Blueberries are gonna help you to lower your blood pressure. They're gonna decrease the chance of you getting any sort of heart disease. It also helps to just improve your memory, and it also helps for recovery as well. And they actually do help you to lose fat. And like many fruits, blueberries have detoxifying qualities. So, you know, they're really gonna help you to get rid of any toxins that are in your body that are potentially harming you long term. So blueberries also have them. The way I keep consistent, I have my team which help me to build my content plans for the week. Usually, I mean, mostly we provide value all the time in these videos, if not some level of entertainment, because it is social media, you know, it's not the actual coaching, but yeah, that's how I'm able to keep consistent. But usually I'm incorporating, you know, filming into my schedule nearly every day. Usually I have like a few big days every week where I record a lot of content, whether it's like the long form or the short form. So we have like a schedule for that built mainly for me to be able to record the content. And then at the same time as that, I'm able to help my clients and get them results consistently because of the fact that I have me and my coaching team to help. So no matter what time zone it is for the client, you know, there's always going to be someone available to help them with whatever they need. We have a lot of people with a lot of expertise on my team, which help to provide a quality service to all my clients, no matter where they're based or what time zone they're in. And so that's really what enables us to always help people. And there's a lot of other features within the program and the coaching that help people all the time. So we always make sure we check up on clients every day to make sure that they're motivated, they're doing the workouts that are needed, they're uploading their nutrition, etc. And so that's really a big feature. And obviously having the weekly check-in calls every single week also enables us to talk to these clients, whether that is a check-in with me or another one of the coaches that help out with making sure all clients are okay. So there's always a level of communication with all my clients to make sure that they're progressing. And if they ever have any questions, they can always message me on the app that we use for them. There's always that level of communication which is needed for them to see results, as well as having, you know, my personal content plan, and it all works in synergy together. All right, it's a lot of work, but you know, I'm a hard worker, and I do try my best to you know, leave it all out there on the field, as they say, and get everything done, because, you know, at the end of the day, I think the more content you can provide and the more people you can help on a day-to-day basis is going to help more people. And that's really it. I mean, I feel like I kind of went through that already, but I would say that calisthenics I love, and that's what I started doing just in my room when I was younger, 14, 15 years of age. And so I've built a pure love for it, love it. That's amazing, not only for building your base in your strength and your body and your muscle, it's also good because it's gonna help you lose fat at the same time. And there's a lot of dynamic movements in there that are gonna help, a lot of explosive movements that are great. You can feel very accomplished when you achieve a skill. And also it's gonna help you work on your mobility, because in order to achieve certain skills in calisthenics, you need to work on your mobility. Whether that's something simple as, you know, trying to get a handstand, shoulder mobility is gonna be important to get there. So you're gonna work on your stretching as well, which is gonna be great overall for your body. And then when it comes to weightlifting, that's also gonna be good because it's gonna keep you functional in all areas. You know, using weights is great to target individual areas, because with calisthenics, there's a lot of compound movements, which is great, don't get me wrong, but sometimes there might be an area lacking that you wanna focus on more. And so just adding in maybe a pair of rear delt flies, or maybe you wanna work more on, you know, your calves, just adding some calf raises with some dumbbells, that can also be a great addition to your training. And both of them together is going to be the best way to do it, the hybrid method, as I've already said in loads of videos and loads of content. But hybrid method is really where it's at, best of both worlds. You can work on your areas of weakness, you can keep functional, you can work on your mobility, and you can learn cool skills and, you know, master your body weight. What's not to like? Okay, a lot of people think that this is harder than it actually is, but it's pretty simple. So the first thing you're gonna have to do is figure out what your maintenance calories are. So that's gonna essentially be a calculation of your height, your weight, your current exercise level. And then after you figure out those calculations, which can be done by a coach or a professional, either or both, then you can work in a calorie deficit, but a slight calorie deficit that's gonna have a lot of protein in your diet as well. So calorie deficit slightly, a lot of protein in your diet, and also make sure you're doing strength training. You're easily gonna see muscle build, and you're easily gonna see a loss of fat. It's that simple. I'm gonna add, as long as you're consistent, okay? As long as you're consistent, then it's simple. You'll see the success, you'll see the progress. Testosterone. So there's a lot of ways that I personally increase my testosterone. So number one is going to be training, at least training 3 or 4 times a week. Strength training, ideally, is going to be great to increase testosterone. So even if that's calisthenics or weightlifting, you can do that. Next thing is going to be making sure you have a balanced diet. So making sure you have all your fats, your carbs, a nutritious diet. Make sure you include fruit, vegetables, the basics, right? And high protein, like we've already talked about. And also little things that are really gonna help is getting a lot of sleep, 7 to 9 hours, as I've already said. Making sure that you try and include some cold showers into your routine can also help a lot, or an ice bath or cold plunge, same thing. And the last thing, which is kind of optional, is including some supplements into your diet. So one of the best ones that I found is ashwagandha. That can help. I wouldn't say have it, you know, for months at a time. Just trial it out for like a month, see how you feel, then come off it for a couple of weeks to a month and go again. That can also be a great thing that you can add into your diet, and those are all natural things. Yeah, so a lot of people, especially my clients that work long hours, they say that they have like an afternoon slump and they just have no energy. So the best way to avoid that afternoon slump is to stop having coffee in the mornings, because a lot of people do, especially when they work 9 to 5s. Make sure that if you do have, you know, coffee, you wait until the afternoon, and then that can push you to the evening after work, or even just after your workout, which is after work, and then you'll be fine, and you can kind of lower down to a lower heart rate and calm down, get ready for bed evening time. So push your coffee back. I would also say to add some sort of workout in your day, whether that is in the morning before you go to work, whether that is at lunch on your lunch break, or after work. You know, there's 3 options there. I'm sure you can choose one. And just doing that frequently every day, whether that is walking, whether that is doing strength training, you know, you're gonna see a massive increase in your energy levels. And I think the obvious one is, you know, diet overall. Making sure you have that balanced diet is gonna be key. Making sure that you have enough carbs in the day, you have the right amount of fats for you in your body, you have the right amount of protein, and you have the right amount of a balanced, and you just have a balanced diet overall, to be honest. You know, a lot of times some people will have an element of their diet lacking, whether that's maybe iron, and so just including certain foods can go a long way in getting you to that next level in terms of increasing your energy levels. So the best morning routine for a busy professional, I would definitely say if you're sitting at the desk all day, then 100% some sort of mobility in the morning, but a mobility circuit, 5 to 10 minutes, when you can just cycle through loads of different mobility exercises, all back to back to back, and then you can repeat that. So it's quick, it's nice and easy, you don't get bored, you can just do it all together, get out of the way for the day. That's going to be your first element of training, and that's really going to put you in a positive mind frame going into work. I would also highly recommend having a cold shower. It's going to increase your alertness so that when you do, get ready to go into work, you're driving into work, you're walking, whatever, maybe you're cycling, then you're already in the zone, you're switched on, you're focused, and you can be productive straight away. And as I've already said about your coffee, wait until about midday to have that coffee, and try your best to intermittent fast throughout the day as well, so that, you're hungry not only in terms of your stomach, but you're hungry for success in what you're doing, and having that hunger by not eating anything can really fuel you in terms of your work to almost see it as a reward. So when you do complete that work or those tasks that need doing at work, or whether that's even in your business, you can reward yourself with some food after and a nice coffee. And I think it's pretty obvious, but I'm sure a lot of people do this that work a 9 to 5. Just stick to a time that you go to bed and a time that you wake up. More importantly, for the morning routine, same time that you wake up every morning without fail. Because if you stick to your word with that, you're likely going to stick to your word with everything else that you do in the day, and you're going to get a lot done. Yeah, so staying lean all year round, thank you for the compliment. It's not as hard as you think, okay? It really is not as hard as you think. As long as you have a high protein diet, you're working out 3 to 4 times a week, even if it's just 30 minutes, and you're focusing on your recovery, you're recovering enough, and you have the energy to work out, you have the energy to do what you need to do in the day as well as work and as well as working out, you'll be fine. The issue happens when something maybe goes wrong in your life, you have a bad day, and you kind of go off track. Maybe you start eating things that you wouldn't usually eat, like chocolate. It could be just bad foods in general, maybe a few donuts, maybe some like crisps or chips if you're American, and yeah, you just start kind of like pigging out. Yeah, it just turns into like a spiral, a downward spiral, and you go completely off track, and then you end up after a few weeks overweight, and you wonder in your head, why have I not been able to keep lean at this part of the year? On reflection, maybe at the end of the year you think that. It's just little things like that. I think a big thing is mindsets. When you do have that kind of thing that pops up in the middle of your year or multiple times in your year, when you hit like a slump or something doesn't quite go right, you need to keep positive, and you need to have like a support system that you can rely on, whether it's your family, your friends to keep you accountable, or a coach, where even when you do have those bad days, you can have someone to keep you going and keep you pushing forward. You might be asking, oh, how do you keep yourself, pushing forward? You don't have a coach. I mean, obviously I know the repercussions of falling off track, but also I have a really good solid base of friends and colleagues and family that also help me to keep on track. So if you have that circle around you, as well as developing your routine, which is also important, and you stick to that even on your bad days, and maybe your support system will help you on those bad days when needed, or a coach, then you'll be absolutely fine, and you'll be able to keep lean all year round, just like me. Intermittent fasting, that's the best thing you can do. I think that just learning to control your hunger and your stomach and your cravings is one of the best skills and habits that you can build, because even when you want to eat more, if you're someone who likes to kind of eat a lot and you enjoy your food, you can limit that, you can control it just by working on intermittent fasting and not eating until about midday. 1 p.m., 1 to 2 p.m. is the sweet spot. And also it's going to help you to burn more fat, especially if you add in exercise whilst you're fasting. Game changer. If you're working out and you're adding intermittent fasting into your life, it's the best possible thing you can do in terms of fat loss, keeping at the same level of body fat and weight for the whole year ultimately. And if you do it every day, it's going to be amazing for mental clarity as well. You'll get more done. I found all those things to be true, not only with just me, but also my clients, and I highly recommend you doing it. But you don't need to start off with like trying to do it every single day. That's unrealistic. Do like 1 day on, 1 day off in terms of intermittent fasting every single week, and then eventually you can start to do it every single day, or maybe 5 days a week, then 6 days, then a whole week, and you can ease yourself into it to the point where you don't even think about it anymore. You wake up, you don't even feel hungry. At the start, if you're used to eating in the morning and you're having breakfast every morning, yeah, you might feel really hungry, but if you just practice, you ease yourself into it, it's gonna feel effortless. And it's something that I do every single day, so yeah, That's something that I really prioritize in my schedule. And to be honest, I don't even think about it anymore, I just do it. And that's another thing that helps keep me lean all year round. Having to work out every single day, and that's just gonna not help with your recovery, it can lead to injuries, and it's not sustainable. It's just not, right? So the best thing to do is just work out 3 or 4 times a week. 30-minute workouts, that's all you need to guarantee that you get the physique that you want. Yeah, it's gonna take a little bit of time, but nothing good comes easy, as they say. I also think that, added on to that point, that a lot of people think that you need to eat like a professional athlete to have the body that you want. That's also not true. You know, there's so many foods that you can eat that should not be seen as restrictive, and you can still have your favorite foods as long as your diet is balanced. You know, you can still have that cheat day and, you know, go a little bit off your usual diet. You can still do that, of course you can. You know, I still indulge in the occasional chocolate bar or a little donut or some pizza or something, right? It doesn't have to be super strict to see success in your fitness journey and get to where you want to be, all right? Unless you absolutely want to do that or need to do that for whatever reason. It's a big misconception, I'd say. I think one thing about me personally is that I'm a very calm person. I would say sometimes laid back, but in a good way, you know, because I feel like it's good to be calm in stressful situations. So I feel like it doesn't really apply to me a lot, but of course everyone feels stressed, you know, sometimes, and it's all about handling it in the best ways. And I think just through developing systems that allow you to deal with stress, like having good sleep, like having a morning and evening routine that you can always rely on no matter what happens in your life, and just sticking to that is what's really gonna enable you to de-stress yourself at the end of the day. Because in my morning and evening routine, there are things in there that really help to ease you down, you know, calm your heart rate, calm your mind, switch off if needed. I think that balance in your life is key, and also just making sure that you do have that balanced diet as well, so that you're not missing anything that can initiate that stress and just ultimately lower it. And of course, number one, the most important thing, working out. Just do some sort of workout, whether it's just 10, 20 minutes, getting the blood flowing and just energizing yourself to feel less stressed and to kind of focus on just one thing, you know, for a period of 20 minutes a day. That's it. It's gonna make all the difference in keeping you less stressed. And just find time to do it. There's always time. So there is always time to work out, no matter what hours you work. I don't care if you're working 40 hours, 50 hours, 60 hours a week or more. You still have 30 to 40 hours to find time to work out. And I'll explain. Okay, so there are 168 hours in a week, right? That's a fact. Let's say you're working 60 hours a week, which is a lot, okay? That's more than average. You still have 108 hours, okay? Now you're probably thinking, okay, what about sleep? Let's say you're sleeping 8 hours a day, 7 days a week, which is very good. That's like perfect. You'd be about 52 hours left. Let's say you procrastinate and you spend time with your family and you scroll on your phone for 30 hours, right? Which is a couple hours each day. You still have 22 hours to find time to work out, and you're telling me that you can't find 3 times a week where you have 30-minute circuit style workouts that are full body. You're lying, okay? You're lying to yourself, and you're not gonna get to where you wanna be if you make excuses like that, okay? You can still find time to work out just by doing 3 30-minute workouts a week. That is all you need to do. And then just finding a system that works for you in terms of your nutrition, which is gonna really be beneficial in terms of supplementing your training. You're gonna be flying, okay? High protein diet, 30 to 40 grams, to put it simple, in your diet. Have 4 meals a day or 3 meals and a big high protein meal snack. You'll be fine. On average, that should add up to about 100 to 150 grams of protein daily, which should be enough for most people. So if you just think about it like that, you're gonna see success and you're gonna get to where you wanna be. Simple. Everyone should get in shape because it improves how you're viewed, obviously not only by yourself, but others as well, which can be beneficial in a lot of ways. Not only are you gonna be viewed differently physically, but that can also play into your confidence, which just opens up more opportunities for you. And more specifically, even in something like your career. You're also just gonna have improved energy, whether that's in your job or even if you have more energy to be able to, you know, spend more time with your children. Whatever the case, you're gonna have more energy to do those things because you're in shape. I think a big thing which also links I think a big thing which also links to that family aspect of things is also just being in shape to inspire people to do the same. Because if you can have that positive impact in people's lives, then it's going to make you feel like you've done something for a meaning, not just for yourself, but for others too. And of course, if you love things in your life, and I'm sure you do, there's always something, then you can do those things for longer because you're healthier, which means that you're going to live for a longer time. So a longer, healthier, and happier life overall. I think the hardest thing about being a man is having that expectation to be strong and to provide, whether that's for your family or just to be strong for yourself, because there are many people that will challenge you in this life. And I feel like there's a lot of that expectation to be able to defend yourself and be able to stand up for yourself, but not everyone is like that. And a lot of people are not quite there yet in their confidence to be able to do that because maybe they don't like the way they look or the way they're perceived by others, and people might bully them or whatever the case may be. So I think that's really tough on a lot of guys. I think people end up comparing themselves because of their inadequacies that they may have or may feel like they have, and this can really bring you down, and it brings a lot of people down, I think. Comparing yourself. So a lot of guys will compare themselves because of the fact that other people might look strong and they're not where they want to be. They don't have like a six-pack, they don't have like big arms, big shoulders, whatever. They bring themselves down, and especially with social media, it can be quite scary and almost, kind of depressing for a lot of guys to see that they're not quite there yet. But I think it's important to keep positive as well and know that you can get there. It's just because they know something that you don't, and you can always learn and improve yourself and educate yourself on what you can do to get to that point if you want to get there. I think another thing that a lot of guys struggle with is pride. A lot of guys will keep their pride because they don't want to ask for help if they're struggling with something. But they don't need to feel like, they're gonna lose anything just by asking for help. Some people might know a little bit more than you, as I've just said, and just asking for that help can take you to the next level, and it'll be the best thing that you've ever done. So don't let that stop you from getting to where you want to be. My number one goal, I would say to help as many people as I can to understand and realize that they can achieve anything they want in their fitness and health journey, no matter where they're from, what background they have. And I want them to feel like amazed at what they have achieved and what they can do. And I feel like that brings another layer of confidence to them, which I also want to help people with. And it plays into and leaks into everything else in their life in a very positive way, whether that's career, family, or even their inner confidence. I think, I've briefly touched on a lot of things that men go through, which is very difficult, and things that not many people talk about. I think people don't talk about it in general, but there's maybe a few more things. I think that feeling of failure is a big one. Feeling like you're not good enough or you can't get to a certain level, just because of, I think mainly it's just that inner kind of voice in your head telling you can't do it. But it's all about surrounding yourself with people who are going to support you on your journey, even if it means cutting off certain people that are not good in your life that bring you down. That's what you're going to need to do in order to get past that mindset of not feeling like you're good enough, because you are good enough. Everyone can do it. It's just about implementing the systems to be able to get to that point and eliminate any distractions. I think a big thing which a lot of people talk about, and I hear it a lot, is loneliness in men. I think that it's very easy to be lonely in today's society. I think that social media doesn't help with a lot of women, putting themselves online. And I would say the majority of women actually, and the 1% of men kind of go towards each other. And the men that have not quite got to that 1% level yet, the top level of men, really, really struggle. Even if you've got quite a lot of things going well for you, it can be easy to look at social media and think that you're not good enough just because the 1% that have worked for years, have got to that point. I think that can cause a lot of depression and anxiety in people, which also has a negative impact on, their careers and everything else that they do in life, which is just not right. And then eventually you start building bad habits over time. Maybe you eat a little bit more than usual to kind of fill that void. Maybe you stop working out altogether, you stop talking to people. It can go downhill fast for a lot of people. And I think a lot of people don't understand that, and it's not talking about enough. It's all about, being aware of that fact. And I think it's important as a coach to take that into consideration with everyone that you talk to, and to recognize that everyone is human, and this can happen to a lot of people. And modern society is definitely not built for modern men, which is a shame, but it's up to me and other people that do a similar job to me to provide that element of strength and support for men around the world. Oh, that's a good one. I think I've already talked about this a lot, but there's one quote that comes to mind when you said that. There's a quote from Marcus Aurelius, I believe, which everyone probably knows. I think a lot of people would know. But it's live every day like it's your last. I think that's one quote, but also a philosophy that I believe in day to day. I think that it means that you should not take this life for granted, and you should be doing as much as you can every day in a healthy way to make sure you're working towards your goals at all times. You know, no one's gonna do it for you, so you have to be the one to take your life by the reins and just go for it. I think having that routine, the morning and evening routine, and just a bulletproof routine overall is really gonna help you to get to that point where, you know, you are doing everything every day. You know, as long as you stick to the routine, that you're doing everything you need to do each day. I think that really helps. Because as well, not only does it push yourself to do things each day, because I feel like it forces you to learn and build on your progress each and every day just by having that kind of routine that you follow. And also there's an extension of that quote from, I think, Gandhi as well. And he says something like, learn every day as if you were to learn every day as if you were to be alive forever. So live every day like it's your last, and learn every day like you were to live forever. Something like that. Essentially, just never stop learning, never stop improving. You know, there's always more to aim for in life. You can never learn everything, but as long as you're trying every day to learn something new and trying your absolute best, then you can't fail, and you're always going to see a level of progress. And I think this quote is more applicable than ever in modern society, because a lot of people don't have a routine, linking it back to that. And if you do have a routine which enables you to learn something because you implement things that enable you to learn every day, you're always going to progress. It's almost like a task that you have to do, and it just forces you to learn and grow. It forces you to level up. And ultimately, this just relates back to that pride thing of, you know, not being afraid to ask for help and not being afraid to ask for assistance and learn from someone else. Never be afraid to do it. There's always something you can learn from someone else who may know a little bit more about something than you do in a subject that you might not have been familiar with. So don't think that it's anything bad about you. You might know things that other people don't. But if you know for a fact someone knows more than you do about something that you want to improve on, ask them for help. Give it a shot, take the leap, and you'll be surprised with how far you can go.